Good evening, everyone. Welcome along to EACS 2025. It is Group C action, and we have got one game this evening. Once again, sadly, our Animus and Nonagon game has been forfeited. Therefore, Animus is awarded the win. That means it's 6-0 for them. Therefore, they're pretty much sailing the top of that table. As expected, anyway, it was probably going to go that way, the way the results have gone in Nonagon's way. Every team so far have managed to beat them, and with Animus being the top seed, they were probably going to be likely to go on and win it anyway, but obviously Nonagon, sadly, are out of the competition. But tonight's match, Avo, we're joined by yourself as well. And finally, we're actually going to get a game rather than sit here on screen and not cast a game whatsoever from the other day on Tuesday, which was slightly unfortunate to be getting told last minute that the game is cancelled. So I've pulled you last minute to get this one because it wasn't meant to be you either. So unfortunately, Blood Connections just doesn't allow them to get on screen alongside us. So pulled you off. Your macaroni cheese is cooking, and now you had to take it off the stove and start thinking about that later on once you finish the cast.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it will be quite nice. It was smelling really lovely, although the smoke did start to fill my kitchen pretty quickly when you did call me. But no, yeah, we got a best of three here. I believe it's another group decider to decide who goes through to the winners bracket. I believe.
Yeah, so it is
yes.
Revenge versus Instinct. They are both fighting for that second spot in the group. And yeah, you know what? It's going to be interesting because Revenge, at this current stage, they've been classed as that lowest ranked side on paper, obviously on paper. They've lost one, they've won one in this tournament. Same like the other side of Instinct doing the exact same. But as you can see from the graphics, these are the teams that have already qualified. You've got Animus, who are already qualified due to the forfeit today. Paradox and Ace will be facing off against each other. And you've also got Quantic and NRW International. So these two teams, you don't know who they're going to be facing yet because Group D is just going to be as interesting as well in the end. Three teams all vying for their opportunity to qualify, and that will be coming along tomorrow before we figure out who the winner of this one will be facing come the next stages into that quarter-final stage. But both these teams, on paper, pretty good solid sides. Really difficult to tie them between each other in terms of like their stats against the teams they've played. Pretty much similar to each other in terms of the sides. And Revenge, you can see, it is Stevie, Maiba, Bara, Raptor, and Kayuzeki. A good solid side. I last time casted it was side character that was playing, so it'll be interesting to see how the other substitute has been swapped in and how they will perform in this one up against that Instinct side, who will be consistent. So this is another EU versus Africa battle, by the way. I would just throw your heads up. Revenge is the EU side, Instinct being the African side here with Device, Charisma, Mantra, Eeyore and Vepex, a side that you just don't know what to expect. Sometimes they could be an absolute form and a really difficult side to deal with, especially when it came to their S&D form. They were winning 7-2 quite convincingly against the Nonagon side, whereas on the other side of things, for Revenge, they only got a 10-8, so it went even further. So it was very, very interesting matchup for sure. We obviously won't have seen any of these two sides, Avo, but as for the maps going forward and what we're going to be seeing, you could take us away with that because we know them very well.
Yeah, and I mean, it was supposed to be our series last time. Fortunately, we didn't get to watch, but we have a combine hardpoint followed by a standoff, search and destroy, and closed out potentially, if we go there, to a takeoff control. Now this map set is pretty varied. You've got maps from different eras of Call of Duty. Combine is going to be a very fast affair. Obviously we don't have wall running in this game, so we're not going to get the outer of the map routes to be taken, so the map's actually going to be funneled into basically two lanes, so it's going to be very gunfight heavy, and whichever the warmer team is likely going to come out on top there. You go over to Standoff S&D, a staple in Call of Duty. It's been in several titles at this point. Very, very basic, very, very open map. You've got little bits of trajectory to move around the map. You've got closer parts. You can use SMG, shotguns, different types of utility, or you can go straight across the street where you can have snipers cutting lanes from top red or top grandmas. And then closing off with takeoff control. I hadn't actually seen any gameplay of this last time we met the cast, but I went and had a look at it. A very almost asymmetrical kind of map. You've got the stadium section on the one side, the office block on the other, and then you kind of got what I would dub the pit, the lower section of the middle of the map, that I feel like if you get caught in that, good luck.
Yeah, good luck for sure. This is it's going to be interesting to see if this does go the distance, but there's very few maps that have gone the distance in between the certain sides. The way this is coming along as well, you've got the chance of like, because it's the way it is, they've got 4 EU teams qualified so far, right in the quarterfinals. You've got currently 2 African sides. Will Instinct be that third and final African side that could potentially make it through? Because in Group D, there is no African side that will manage to make it through. Well, maybe there's no guarantee. Monarchs is on the cusp, but we just won't know for certain. So yeah, that's going to be all down to the wire. But it would be good if we were able to get one of the African sides here, Instinct going through. There's a chance it could be 4 and 4. That'll be a very interesting scenario going into the end quarterfinals, where it'll be definitely the battle between EU and Africa, which is what the whole point of this is. Being EACS is bringing the African sides in, giving them the opportunity. Revenge have been here plenty of times in the UCE, as you can see by the results, only winning 5 out of their 11 maps. So. But that being said, the 5 maps that they have won, they were clean sheets. So, I mean, when you're on good form, you're on solid form, and everything's going completely your way. On the other side, with Instinct, 75% win rate, not so bad, not so great for their first appearance here in the UCE. Well, one of their few and far between. But if Revenge can make it through, this will be the furthest they ever get through in any of their UCE tournaments so far.
I mean, it's one thing to note as well. You have lots of reps on the side of Revenge, and reps can give you a lot. Even if the record's not that great, having 22 reps is something crazy as we break off here into the start of combine shots going over the top here from the SMG's early P1 control going into the side of Mantra and Co. as they're going to try and funnel the blue side through that left side U into sort of a chokehold and force 4 flanks to come in as the shots go in, trades go out. I'm now on board with Kiosku.
As you can see, it is going to be fast pace here in the P1. It always is in a hard point, and as you can see, it's just trade for trade, back and forward it goes. But it is going to be the Revenge side is actually taking that lead there in the yellow. There in blue. So yeah, Revenge and Instinct is right, and Instinct has actually been flipped around. Thankfully, we've sorted out our issues there on the screen, but Instinct taking full control of that hard point. 31 seconds is quite a good score considering it is P1 to start off, as we will be making our move towards P2. Set up as it is, the map being off the screen is slightly a bit off-putting, so we can't actually see where we're going from it, but apart from that, everything else, we just got to judge where P2 is in the grand scheme of things. We're moving inside, and yeah, it's just back and forward, constantly going here, Abo, as we watch the play unfold.
Yeah, no, so the P2 building and the lab building is one of the money hills in this map. You sort of have 2 different money hills, very, as I said, relevant to sort of a blockage where they're inside very small type buildings. This is one of them. Tacks are very, very important if you're the side breaking, but if you're not, if you can get pushed out like devices here onto this left lane, you basically funnel the team through the middle of the map, and then they're all coming through tiny doorways and crevices, and it's very, very hard to get in. As you can see, Instinct locking down a huge chunk of time.
Yeah, exactly that. And they're looking really strong and dominant. Revenge got 5 seconds on P1 and are only considering on P2 completely. All of that time has gone the way of Instinct with 4 more seconds left. They're just going to be starting to make that rotation run too. Revenge are there early because it's on their kind of side, so Stevie with a double is going to get that chance to open it up and give their opportunity to get the first couple of seconds back here, because they've had a full clean sweep of no points on P2. But there we go, they've got a couple more points going towards their side as Revenge start getting a few ticks on that. But Apex finds the double, Device finds a third inside Revenge. All of a sudden that's 4 dead on Revenge, and it's not looking good for that side as Instinct get that break in, and all of a sudden they are going to get to that 100-point mark here with 40 seconds still to play it. This could be the biggest margin we've seen so far, well, I've seen so far anyway on the COD Mobile cast that I've been so far. And Instinct just looking absolutely dominant with that War Machine bringing out as well, making sure he finishes off the rest of the members of Revenge, but he's getting inside that hill.
I mean, it was just great specialist usage right there that we saw an Outrider bow and a War Machine come in, and that's how you're going to break these hills. These money hills are very hard to get in, but if you can neutralize the trophy systems and fire in 17 grenades from War Machine, that'll do you pretty good. As the breakers eventually come in, they flood through the front window, and then now Revenge are in a tough spot right here. They need a direct answer back with this. We're going to go to one of the more scrappy hills now in the U connector side of the map, so they really need to try and lock down and try and get mid-control here to secure some time, or instantly they're going to run away with this.
exactly, almost, but there's Revenge. Draka finding a double. He's trying to get himself to get the opportunity. Draka finds another. There's the chance to line them up. He goes to turn around onto a fourth, and that's not going to add up. You've got Yuzuki is actually doing a stellar performance for Revenge, but they're just not getting enough time off of that. 16 kills going his way, tying with the most on the other side of Instinct, and they've got the one on time. Device with another double though, and there's going to be Draka pulling out the claw as he tries to find a few extra kills along the way. But as it seems to unfold, their Instinct just looking like the more dominant side here, looking to get back for that remainder time. P1 will be coming up next again as our rotations will be done, but with 26 seconds on that time, what, 16 seconds, sorry, blurry on my eyes. There we go. They've got 60 seconds. The contest is in, and there's the opportunity. Charisma breaking on in. Vepix finding a double once again with that Tempest, and that's such a devastating thing with operator skills. Is phenomenal timing to get it. You need to get kills. You need to build up them score streaks and build up the weapon streaks as well here for your operators, because they can come in clutch.
Yeah, no, it's a big life here from Raptor, actually. The top middle of the map does get one of the, I believe it's the Hunter-Killer drone. The lockdown, some kills for some early pressure towards the Revenge side. But as I say that, Charisma and the crew come rocking straight through behind the Specialist and immediately clear out the middle of the map. And now force Revenge into that P2 side, which is worst case scenario. Because not only are you losing P1 time, but you also don't have spawns for lab. So as much as Instinct, they're going to soak the time here, they do have sort of a forward advantage, but as I say that, they do cause a flip themselves, and now the side of Revenge are spawning in the lab building, but they know that. Charisma's already in there, and I believe he just invested the equalizers inside the lab, but he will get caught. Now Mantra off spawn has to try and retake control, and finally, with a 3 in the feed, Revenge have some sort of control.
Yeah, some sort of control. They jump off the hill though and instantly traded out with that nade coming in. Raptor will finds 2. One with the nade, one with the USS 9 as he starts to make his way towards that hardpoint. Contest is in, but he's going to get the final bit of scrap time, maybe, unless he doesn't survive it. The nade comes in from both Device and Ayor. That'll wipe the hardpoint again, and Instinct back full control, still over 100-point lead, and just looking absolutely phenomenal. They're just slaying out the map. Vepex and Device combining together to make a total of 46 kills with the two of them. That is just a phenomenal performance to be in, and we're still got at least 100 points to go from that Instinct side before we even get to the overall win. So there's a chance of these two teams, players, getting well over 40 kills in this lobby if it continues the way that they've started it.
Yeah, and I love what Instinct are doing here. Every time they need to break a money hill, they invest the Specialist. You can see there they went on the back with the War Machine and the Death Machine. It didn't work out though, as more War Machines need to fly in from both sides. Ever from the front finds 4 in a row with the War Machine. Like I said, whenever they're in trouble, make that 5 a frenzy kill. The investment of the Specialist is there. It's so smart, right? Don't invest them when you have control. Wait till you need to break to invest them, because what better way to break hill than with a gigantic War Machine and a superpower in your back pocket.
I mean, you just take out the whole team of Revenge, make sure you've got full control once again, get that spawns even on your side just for the next hardpoint. Device finds a 3 as well, straight off of it as well, and they're both back onto like 28 kills for Vepex, 28 for Device. It's like they get 1 each every single time they get a kill. They're both lining up. They're like, right, who's on the hunt for that most kills? The lobby. Instinct looking absolutely dominating so far, and almost going to verge towards that 200-point mark. And with this time, they could almost get towards the end and win it this year, but it's going to be all the time needed. But there's a contestant for a second, so that means that we're definitely going to be getting another rotation of hardpoint. Well, another hardpoint after this one. But Eyor once again, a couple of good kills. There's 3 in a row from him. Draka has to get a kill with the smoke with the nade there, and then Barrett and Stevie having to find a couple, but it's just not getting enough of the players dead on the Instinct side, so they're managing to hold still in this hardpoint.
Yeah, no, it's just the trades just don't go in their favour. Whenever they need to get the trades for Revenge, they just somebody on Instinct pulls out a 2 BTC. Device has got 2 right there, make it 3, and he's unlocking streaks, the Hellstorm and the Hunter-Killer in the pocket, ready for the next hill. Like I said, every time they're in trouble, they've got something to bail them out. Revenge just can't get enough consistent trades in their favour. The shots over the top from the ARs, and I think clean up 2 more. It's 36 for Device, 32 for Vetbix. They're really looking to put montage level numbers up now as they rotate to P4.
Yeah, definitely. 15 seconds away from the win in map 1 here. We're making over towards P4, and there's only a player nearby, and he's just been targeted. The Hellstorm comes out, takes Stevie out. Rapture is going to have to try and come in from behind from their spawn site. Kazuka gets on the hill, not lasting for long. The gravity gun comes out, but is instantly shut down. 3 more seconds for Instinct. This is their game. There's that break for a second, though. They're keeping the contest in. Instinct falling on the hardpoint. 3 dead here. Stevie, Raptor combining. 34 seconds. They have to have like we speak about it so many times, perfect hardpoint, but this is far from perfect. This is going to have to be unstoppable from here on out, which I very much doubt Revenge has got the opportunity to hold off 2 seconds here, but you just never know. Stranger things have happened. Instinct still trying to make that break in, Revenge holding it still, but you know what, with the last bit of like the rotation time, you just need to get onto that time quickly early on, and then Instinct will finish this and close this map out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw right there, right? Instinct invested all of the specialists, and you saw a Tempest, a Sparrow, a War Machine. But for the first time in this game, Revenge had an answer. They finally took out the specialists before they could do too much damage. But as I say that, now we rotate back to P1, mid-map control in the minute in the hands of Revenge, and the side of Instinct don't have any specialists. So this is going to be their best chance to get a chunk of time. They should be careful. As I say that, though, the Death Machine comes in and finds 3. But it is answered back by Equalizers. Everyone investing all they've got into this game. Revenge on sort of a lifeline here. How many specials they go before it runs out? Well, the answer is not enough, as Instinct close it out on P1, 250 to 133. An absolute massacre in the slaying side. I mentioned it's going to be a bloodbath. Combine always is, but the key to that game, just specialist usage. Whenever you needed something to happen, a big player rotation, a break, in came the Death Machine, in came the War Machine, and next thing you know, they've got 2 Hellstorms from them. They get 4 kills with each one, and that was the recipe right there.
You're just stacking upon stacking, constant operator skills, and then obviously your skill streak. So phenomenal performance, and as I said it before, we was going to get teams that were going to get over, players that were going to get over 40, sorry, and Device was that one to do it. He gets the 40 kills, he gets his MVPs, 1 minute and 49 seconds on time as well. Vepex wasn't too far behind him, only 3 more kills behind, and a good amount of time going across the board for the majority of the players, other than Mantra, who was the one that seems to be roaming around a little bit more and staying off of the time, but just being the front line to stop anybody coming in. But yeah, it wasn't the best of starts here for Revenge. They're going to have to try and see what they could do going into the Search and Destroy. They have been tight Search and Destroys, but that might not be a good thing considering the strength that Instinct have brought out straight away. They're already guns blazing, ready to go at it, ready to take this by force. And in the way that their S&Ds have been going, okay, they won against Animus. Was quite a convincing loss. It was a 2-7, so they did lose quite convincingly. But they won their S&D against Nonagon 7-2. So, I mean, it's like the tale of 2 halves, right? They're the best team in the group, and then the worst team in the group, you've got a big variation in terms of the difference. But yeah, it's going to be a really tight S&D, but Revenge need to get their revenge, because otherwise this is them out of the tournament and out of the competition. So hopefully they can switch on for Search and Destroy Avo. We're going to see, hopefully, a game 3 here on towards Takeoff, because I'd like to see it myself. You said you've seen it and looked over it through the map before. I'd love to just have a wee go of how the game plays out between these 2 sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I will say for the side of Revenge, a bit of sort of hope, I guess you could say, right? Combine in this series is a bit of an anomaly, right? It's a super high-paced map, as we just saw. Standoff S&D is a lot different. It's a lot more of an older style map design. Yes, you could play it fast through the middle of the map in P1, but you can go so many other avenues to just drag rounds out. So if the pace is something that Revenge can't deal with, the Instinct's like rapid pace is too much, you have 2 game modes now and 2 maps, so you could really suck the pace out of the game, potentially to maybe bring it more in your favor if you are a team that needs a bit more time to maneuver around the map, and you can't just be as run and gun, because Combine, like I said, it's the blockage of Black Ops 3. It is very much head smash until you win, and Instinct seemed way more attuned to that level of pace than Revenge. They seem to be, I mean, if you look at the deaths, the side of Revenge, they've got all 35 plus deaths each, so they're just running into the blender. They're constantly getting spawn trapped, so that pace just did not suit them at all. But going into an S&D, if I'm them, take 5 minutes, breathe, it's alright. Map 1 doesn't matter anymore. All on this S&D right now. We've already won a Search and Destroy before. We know we can. So let's just slow it down, take the tempo. This first round is going to be massive for Side of Revenge. If you can win it, reset all momentum, and we're good to go.
Yeah, definitely. You want to kind of slow them down completely. They don't want to keep them running them down constantly. You're not going to see that probably here on Standoff. And there's a reason it's called Standoff, right? The map for a reason. There's a chance for it to be... Yeah, there's a chance for it just to be Standoff a little bit and slow down the pace, which might actually work in that Revenge side, just because of how hot and how quickly Instinct came out there. They were pretty much just running on instincts by the looks of things. It was just right, there, we're going there, we're going here, we're shutting it down, and guess what? I've got my kill streak. Oh, cool. So have I. We'll just wait it. You do yours, I'll do mine. we'll just feed them all one after the other, but you're not going to get that on Search and Destroy, so it might work better for that Revenge side. So you're not going to constantly be coming up against equalizers, up against war machines on the constant. It's because getting the kills is hard enough. There's only going to be so many kills per round compared to what there was on the hardpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the big thing as well is snipers, right? Like, what better way to stop a very aggressive player than to whack a sniper top red and just smash him in the head as he comes through P1. Immediately the pressure's gone. And if you've got a good sniper on your team, it can make the other team so scared to attempt to cross anywhere on the map without using utility. And then say they do smoke or they do use utility to get across, well, you immediately have info. Well, that's where they are, because they can't cross for free, so they've had to waste part of their kit to get to a position on the map. Now we have the advantage because we have the info, and we also have our own utility to use, which we can use later in the round to sort of drag the rounds up, because our sniper's hot and he's just cutting the map completely in half for us.
Yeah, exactly. And just a note on that as well. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's watching, if this is your first time watching Call of Duty Mobile, like it was mine's just a couple of weeks back, S&D works in a slightly different manner than our normal Call of Duty. So you've got an attacker and a defender, but the attacker has 6 rounds to start with. So it's after 6 rounds, then switches sides. So you'll be on attack for 6 times, and then you'll be on the defense for 6 opportunities potentially. If it goes that long, you also have to win by clear 2 if it goes to. Well, you get to it's first to 7, and if it gets to 7 and it's 7-6 or 7 it has to be 1 by 2. So that's the difference in variation style that you're going to see as we do kick ourselves off into the map and into standoff we go. Nades being thrown from both sides. Nothing found targeted wise, and the good thing about these mini maps as well, you can see exactly where they're landing, which is always a good notice. But you spoke about the sniper, and there we go. Maybe it opens up with the first. Revenge Stevie finds the second one onto Charisma, and all of a sudden a better start than their hardpoint was. Draka finds a third, but Mantra has got 2 of his own. He's already tied it back to a 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The sniper pick coming in early, and the utility early in the game, no trophy system, so a lot of opportunity for pre-nades. As we see, maybe Yurto finds the angle through the hay. What a shot to close the round down. And I just mentioned it before, sniper rifles are your key to stopping aggression. As you said, a bit of a different style of S&D, so we're going to see a rerun of the same side. Very Counter-Strike-esque, I might say, the win by 2 rule. But let's see how they play it this time. Again, no trophy systems early in the game, so the utility is going to be launched over the mortar strike. The hail of nades go towards each side statue. Going to get caught with a lot of damage in you for the side of Revenge. They look over a bit different look, though. A bit more of an aggressive push up towards the square. They're going to find 2, make it 3 down, make it all 4 in the square. But Charisma finds 3 out of nowhere to spin the round into a 1 versus 2, but we do have maybe an Raptor now working the map. Charisma in the square. They've got full info. They've got this sort of the pinch working in your number 1. Who I believe that is in the back of the map. The sniper should get the info. He does spot me. Backs up here. The guy on the street now is working his way carefully. Shot comes in. Sniper rifle does him in, and just like that, that's 2 in a row for Revenge. I mentioned the first round momentum. Well, make it 2, all in their favour now going into S&D.
Yeah, this is a very good 2 rounds here for Revenge. We said the slow pace, the change of style might work in our favour, and it has done so far. Now, all going down towards that A site again, expecting Instinct to keep running it back the same positions, but they've slowed it down a little bit. They've got nades going out, but there is a first kill. Wow, it looked like on the screen for a second, but it's not going to be a first kill early on in comparison to the last 2 rounds. Slowing it down, Instinct looking for opportunities now this time, rather than just trying to run and gun and see what comes of for it, because they know they've got to keep an eye on Mayba with its sniper and Raptor as well, because they've both found 2. Just looks phenomenal so far at the start of this S&D. Oh, there we go.
Raptor, he knew it. He knew the flank was coming in. The shot is clean as he takes out the first player in Instinct. You could see almost a Mexican standoff with the guy in gas station right there. Raptor's going to play aggressive though. Puts the shot in, misses it, and gets traded by Charisma. A bit of a heat check play there. You must have been feeling yourself with a sniper to play so aggro. But map control still in the favour of Revenge. They've got all of the A-bomb. They've got 2 players now working the back alley. It'll be Steve and Mayba. As the side of Instinct now going to wrap to a late hit towards Statue, but the info should definitely come in here as we have maybe watching the mid-cross, but he can't quite see the front Statue push, but you know, utility now will give it away. Like I said, the smoke have to come in to cut the sidelines. Into square flies the Vice, but he can't find it. There's 2 players in there putting shots down. Now the VMP will find the player in the corner, and one on the tracker does find one as well, but the trade's coming in. EO with the pistol is going to find 2 with the machine pistol to swing this into a 1 versus 1. Sniper versus Sniper as he pushes towards Grandma's, and we have maybe resetting the map now towards square.
Yeah, Air and Mayba. Who is going to have the sniper? Who's going to have the opportunity here? But both, I'm sure, will have that Machine pistol at hand as well. You're going to get the opportunity to get the bomb down though for the first time here in the 3 rounds, and that technically gives him a little bit of an advantage because he can have now a wrap, and he's going to have to keep an eye out of where that bomb can be watched over. As you said, top red sniper position is a good opportunity to be in. He's in there already, and he's now having a look to see if he can find an opportunity to take out Meba and win the round here for the first time for Instinct. But I say top red, it's not really red, it's green. That's top green. I'm lying. There we go. Meba with the quick scope. It's done. He's got time. He's got 17 seconds. He doesn't have to worry about it. He's going to get that bomb defuse zone. Revenge are going to go 3-0 to the good. A good, very good start, and Meba clutching up once again.
Yeah, I got a bit dicey there. Both players missing their first shot with the sniper, and it looked like it was Charisma going for Io going for the pistol, whereas maybe when no, I trust my sniper rifle, hits the quick scope to close the round. Yeah, the builder to the right, the green one, that's top grannies, by the way. The other one on the other side is top red because it has red windows.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I was just calling it green because it was green on the bottom. So
not wrong. But for all our colourblind players out there.
yeah, forget about colours being blinded and different people having different sight lines of that, but I don't really think about it. But Draka, there we go, another round on the board for Revenge. That was the quickest one we've had so far, and that is for all 5 dead. Revenge 4-0 up.
Yeah, no, it looks like Instinct lack sort of diversity in their plays, right? They've had a rush A wait in the spawn and try and get a pick, then go A, and rush A again. And Revenge look completely comfortable with dealing with this. But as I say that now, we see the 4-man pushing at bottom. Brown, and the trade comes in from Vepix as he now clears out into the P1 area. But Raptor on the long pinch through gas station with the sniper will even up the odds to a 4 versus 4. As I say so, Device is going to get the bomb down now, planted for that top brown power position. This is actually a different look finally from the side of Instinct. You can see it has worked out for them. Maba can't hit the shot, and we now have the retake 4 versus 4 as Maba putting in shots with the sniper, can't find anything. 2 players working towards the statue. Let's see how Revenge play this.
Raptor heading in the smoke though. He's going to get challenged there from Ayor. He'll come sliding on through that doorway. Make sure he closes that one out. Instinct looking like the better side here this time round for the finally. Managed to swing it around in their favour. Device going to get shot on the back. He's going to be able to get one, but there we go. Ayor will close it out, and that'll be the round done. Instinct getting their first on the board. And finally, maybe that's them figured out a solution here to try and get themselves a little couple of rounds at least to kind of tie it back. He's got one more round here before we'll switch sides. So see where we can go from here. Can they make it a 4-2 deficit rather than a 5-1? I'd rather not be 4 rounds down already. So Instinct need a big strong one here. Another one.
Unbelievable with the sniper on the pinch. Now what I will say again, another different look. I like this. Playing towards Brown but with a little less aggression, trying to catch out Steve here, getting a bit too comfortable in P1, but unfortunately Raptor just flies up the back alley and rips somebody's face off of the gas station heady. So now we're in a 5 versus 4 for the side of Revenge, and Instinct have it all to do. They really need to try and isolate a player. As I say that though, Raptor is having none of it. Another pick onto Mantra. Spots him in the gas station, finds another one. You're challenging to make it free. Oh wow, 4 in the round for Raptor. The sniper rifle, unbelievable for the side of Revenge. Wow. I wish we had this in the COD League, let me tell you.
It just brings moments like that you just can't hold on to anymore. Like there's nothing like running down with like a full magazine and killing 3 people with 30 rounds in your mag, but just running around with a sniper and finding 4 members, one after the other, having to use that quick scope is just phenomenal. But there you go. Instinct finds 2 right off the rip here. Stevie will fall, Kazuku will fall as well, and now you're in a 3 versus 5. But this time, remember, it is now Instinct as the defending side. So we've seen how strongly Revenge was in that defense. But there's Raptor once again, still on board with that boy. He's not missing a shot. 2 more in this round. Manages to make it a 3 versus 3 scenario. And you'll know positions of where players will be looking to wrap around. He's already pre-aiming, ready, expecting somebody to come and challenge him from his position. Not going to happen yet though. But yeah, a phenomenal performance from him so far, and there's still plenty of rounds to be played here.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense from the side of Instinct, they went for a 4 stack onto A. One player playing grannies for the pinch, and that player gets really bad timing, which allows Raptor to make the play through the backside of the map, find 2 on the pinch to the A bomb, and now he's opened up the sight here for his 2 members over towards the statue. If they can work this kill on to, I believe it's Vepix, onto the bomb site. They will open up the map, but Raptor, you're lurking into P1. He's going to spot him on the corner. The tank flies into square here. Eeyore will find the kill with the machine pistol, and Charisma over the top with the SMG does clean out. So leaves it all to Raptor in a 1 versus 3. But I mean, the way this guy's sniping people right now, I wouldn't put it past him.
I mean, that's the information gathered, though. There you see the player sliding out. Raptor wasn't quick enough to get that scoped in, but he's got the bomb down. He's going to have to try and regather, but all 3 members of Instinct are there. But that does not mean it's out of the question for Raptor. We've already seen him clutch with 3 kills in 1 round. Well, it was 4 kills in 1 round, actually, but these are all right next to each other. He's going for the wall bangs, looking for an opportunity to find one. Vepix is lying down, but he doesn't get it. Raptor will fall to Vepix, and another round will go in favour of Instinct here. But yeah, it was almost an opportunity to see Raptor just go on a massive spray of kills with that sniper in hand. It wasn't to be in the end. But another attack around for them to go and see what they can do this time. They've found an Instinct that has got a little bit of a wee win on their back now, finally getting themselves back into on this defensive side. And they'll just want to try and keep holding their ground as much as possible as they look to defend that A bomb site more often than not. And the attackers of Revenge, they're looking to go towards B. Staying on board with Stevie, he's watching his corners, he does spot one. Vepix is there, Eeyore gets the trade with that snipe, but Draka will finish off Eeyore and get his trade. All of a sudden, Revenge are that man advantage. Raptor up top though, whoa, another quick scope. I didn't even see the pixel of Mantra there, but he certainly does. Now they chase down Charisma. Draka will finish that one off, and Revenge will get another round back on that board and stop the kind of momentum that Instinct were looking to try and bring.
Yeah, it's just the diversity in the plays and from Revenge just working out for them. They tried an A hit in the first round, didn't work. Unlike Instinct, who tried to smash against the A defense over and over again. This time they went for a sort of a mid to sort of back alley play where Draka was able to find a trade, but not able to do much more from the Delhi side of the map. But then Raptor gets into Brown and basically cuts the entire defense spawn off, which allows the plant towards B. And we see another play towards Brown, this time with a player on the bomb lurking. We'll put some shots in towards Delhi and back up that player who's Eeyore with a sniper. He is laying on the bomb, as I say, though. Steve lurking around the middle of the map finds one, but will get traded out by the trio of players on the A bomb. Draka, though, in a bit of no man's land, going to get caught crossing, but will get traded out here as Keo finds the trade, gets into the Delhi. Raptor, though, does drop. That's a big player to lose his device, finds the kill onto the A bomb. 2 versus 3 now for the side of Revenge. We've got a lot of work to do, but Keo is in a great position. As I say that, though, the snipe comes in. Mabel all alone in 1 versus 3 with a sniper of his own, I will say. Let's see if he can do anything.
Yeah, he started off pretty well with a sniper in hand, but the last few rounds hasn't gone his way. But Raptor has been doing it all with that snipe. Now he's got to try and find a 1 versus 3 scenario. Can he find that same old little piece? He does get the hit marker though, doesn't get the kill, and will be found out here as Charisma will finish off Mabel, and Instinct will get another round back on the board here. So if it goes for this way, it's going to work out for Revenge. If it goes 1 for 1, but Instinct will want to try and get a second in a row and trying to kind of stop their bleeding. They don't want to be losing too many rounds. Revenge are only 1 round away, and that will be the game sorted, and they'll be going to game number 3, which is what we want to see. We want to see the next one on to Takeoff, because it just makes things more interesting here for the viewers. But there's Raptor instantly finding Charisma off the bomb. Draka finds him extra. Raptor finds another with a machine pistol on towards Device. Now you've got 2 members left of Instinct, and now you've just got to rely on your Instinct here as Eeyore does find Kayuski. Eeyore finds Raptor. He's got 2 snipes in his bag, and now it's tied this almost up to an even Stevens matchup here. It's 2 versus 3. They've got the chance, they've still got opportunities, but maybe we'll get that bomb planted on towards A, and now you can see a nade being cooked, pre-cooked, sent over the top. Is it going to land where it needs to? Not enough. It's not got the energy or the distance to get inside that bomb site.
Yeah, it was to clear out that tractor angle, so they know now that Draka has to be playing within the square. VMP, though, in a tight angle, going to be so difficult to clear him. Going to be trying to finesse his life, but will get caught out. EO with the snipe in hand. Can't hit the shot onto the player in the boxes. Goes for the jump shot. Won't be able to hit that either. Both players in a precarious position here. They can sort of see the bomb from top red if they do elect to wrap, but they don't know where the second player is, though. The snipe, though, comes in from Mabel. He's got full eyes on the bomb. Nothing EO can do, and he does eventually get cleared out. But, I mean, what we got to say, Raptor, talk about confidence, sprints straight through the middle of the map and quick scopes the guy off the tractor. The level of confidence you've got to be playing at to do that, running into that tiny bomb site just to clear that out, is insane. A takeover map. And I mentioned it before, sniper rifles, that's how you stop aggression. And, well, If you got somebody that could do that, let me tell you, maybe just bring it out for the control as well at this rate.
Yeah, just get Raptor in sight line and just wash down all these zones at this point in time. These quick scopes were on point. Finding the 1 versus 4 was phenomenal as well. That's got to be a clip for the news feed, the X feed, wherever you want to post it for your Twitch chat or wherever you want to post it. But yeah, there you go. Raptor finding 13 kills along the way. Draka as well, not too bad as well. 11 kills for him. And then, yeah, the rest of the tiers, there was a player obviously on the other side there. You can see has left the side of Instinct. But, yeah, overall, ER finding 10 kills and Charisma finding 9 as the top 2 fraggers on their side. But, yeah, it was just it was a very difficult mountain to climb when you were 5-1 down going into your defensive side. You have to just be so clinical from there on out on that defense, and it just wasn't to be. Even if it was going 1-for-1, it's very much in favour of Revenge at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, with Instinct, it felt like they just ran out of ideas. As soon as that A hit on their offense doesn't work, they didn't really have anything else left in it. They showed a bit of a look towards B, and it worked for one round. But the issue is they left it so late in their offensive side to sort of throw in a mix-up that Revenge were completely confident in just bodying out the A bomb side because they knew they were going to win it. And then as soon as you get to that tractor, you can cut all of the mid-side of the map off, and they have them pinned essentially around the gas station and back brown. Whereas when you looked at the side of Revenge on their offense, they tried A, it didn't work. They tried B, it worked. They tried a different look at B, it didn't work. Okay, now we're going to try a mid to A. So they had a lot of sort of a deep bag of offensive strategies to really adapt to what Instinct were trying to throw at them. And the biggest thing I would say on Instinct side is I feel like they needed to maybe save their utility. We saw lots of the pre-nades going over every round, but they were just hitting trophy systems. As soon as that first round crossed and people had utility ready to go, no more nades were being hit on the side of Instinct. And I feel like if you've got to think maybe in that 3 versus 3, they saved some frag grenades, they could clear out several parts of the bomb site rather than just having one to clear out one corner. Mm-hmm. And maybe that would have helped them a little bit out. But that's too little too late. Now if you're Instinct, you think about the first respawn, how dominant you were in the sort of faster pace respawn game modes. You got to look to Takeoff here and really try and sort of set the precedence here, ramp the pace up back to what you're used to and what you're comfortable with. And if you're Revenge, keep doing what was working for you. You could very much see when they had the space and the time to breathe and really react to what Instinct were doing, they looked like a much more comfortable team. Now, for Takeoff, formerly known as Stadium in Black Ops 1, it's a very different beast to the 2 maps we've seen. It wasn't traditionally a competitive map in those titles. However, there was a lot of sort of nuance to this. On the one side, you have the Stadium, which is your quick sort of flank routes through the left-hand side. And on the opposite side, you have sort of the office block that allows for flank routes, but it's a long, open sight line. So you see Keo and the crew rocking in with the SMG straight into the Stadium, finding all of the trades here. Draka will find 2 to clean up Vepex, and Charisma goes to the machine pistol, finds 3 onto the device. Early control here to the side of Revenge. But you can see they've actually left Raptor out on the offices with the sniper, and he's found 2 early in the game. He's got, and then he makes it 3. The pistol out, can't find it. Vepex cleans him out. We mentioned it, and why not? If you're feeling that hot with a sniper, go to the nice long sight lines on the office side of the map and just go to town.
Yeah, certainly. Just do that. Line them up, shoot them all down. You've got the 4-man advantage. You've not really lost much tick progression so far, but they are sitting on towards A now. Instinct trying to get 1 tick at least made. It could be down to the wires and ticks. This is going to be very interesting because remember, this is the last map for these 2 sides to stay in the tournament. The winner will progress to that quarterfinals. The loser will be out, and that could be either Revenge or Instinct the way that things have been going. Hot and steady are Instinct in the hard points, but not so good in the S&D. But so far Revenge started off the stronger side. They're keeping their momentum. Kazuki finds a double in the feed there as well. They've got 6-man advantage, but Device will tie it back with 2 kills of his own. Vepex, and then Device will find a 3rd. Vepex will find another as well. That's 4 to 5 dead in the feed. This is exactly what you need if you're Instinct to get yourself on towards the time. 34 more seconds to try and get hop at zone 8 is closest to being secured. That'll add the extra minute if you can get on top of it. So far, 3 members are looking to get anywhere near it, but Revenge are down to only 5 remaining lives.
Yeah, I was going to say, big thing here, not only the time, but you've also got the life count here. Instinct have done pretty well to bleed Revenge's lives out through that aggression on the Stadium side of the map. There's a big wave of kills there from Instinct. You had 2-3 players close to streaks on the side of Revenge, but they do answer them back quickly. Another ticks are coming in. It looks like Revenge all gathering up around that B site, but they just don't have the time to react. A very, very good aggressive play there from Instinct. They get one clear. You see that 1-4 down, immediate full map control. Even from a time where Revenge looked like they had control, early picks, all it took is one wipe, and the whole map belonged to Instinct.
Yeah, Revenge had such a lead as well in the kills department, and it just slowly eated away that 4 or 5 dead, and eventually just turned it in Instinct's favour, and they got all ticks to progression. So it's going to be a difficult task here for Revenge to bounce back from that and look to try and do the exact same, because you don't want to be losing in ticks, at least if it does go to that round 5. Predator missile does come out. The streaks that were earned in round 1, as we mentioned. There we go, is another kill as he comes straight out of that into another kill. Looking good for Instinct on this defense. Very little time being made on towards A for any of these, any Revenge, and they are down in numbers. A War Machine coming up from AR finds 2. Vepex finds the Rapture as well. That's 3 dead. Can they continue to keep even more going down in Revenge? Because so far you've only seen 1 or 2 players alive at any given time for Revenge. Anywhere near any time, that's for sure. It's going to be a difficult task to get out of that spawn, as they're constantly getting pinned back in their spawn.
And not only that, the side of Instinct are really trying to put the hurt on them now. You see an investment after investment. We had a War Machine, we had a Sparrow, we've got Equalizers, we've got a Death Machine, and the spawn trap inside of the Greed building is insane. Look at the way he's playing it. He's waiting for the skulls to spawn and then immediately reflanking them off of spawn. Charisma has this map on lock and key. The Hunter Killer drone for the spawn kill. This is a clinic from the side of Instinct.
Get out of the get out of the medical center, that should be called, and not the visitor center, because they were pretty much having to be getting stitched up here, as Instinct have just absolutely dominated that round. 20 kills still remaining on their side they could have done, but Instinct just absolutely slaughtered in the back, 1 round away from taking the map and taking the victory here and being your next team to qualify, which will be the 3rd African side if it continues to go this way. Revenge is going to have to do something majorly big here to try and turn this around. 2 rounds in a row they're going to need, and they're going to need to do them very fast and very clinical as much as they could. But the way the Instinct's been playing Device in these respawns has just been very difficult to deal with. Him and Charisma, even Manta now and then, but Vepex has just been a standout player. And speaking of Vepex, he does fine too. Charisma answers back with 2 himself as well, and Vepex keeps his spree going. 4 in a row he's going. Is he going to keep it going? Tempest in there, we go. The spawn trap Fury kill is done. Now he's got the chance to go and put them back in that spawn once again and just do what they did in that last round. There you go, another to add to it. And Tempest, that will be run out, and now with the way that that's gone, it is 10 lives advantage. There's another kill, 3 in the feed. Predator missile, spawn back. Revenge, they can't get with spawn.
Absolutely not. Vepex is just on a mission right now. He is not missing bullets, be it a Tempest, be it his Type 19, be it his Predator missile. He's just pre-firing for walls. He's got them in the hurt locker right now. If you're Revenge, you are down on lives, you are down on luck. You invested your specialists and couldn't get much out of it. All it took was 1 Tempest and 1 War Machine, and you were put into the blender. But Draka now off spawn with a VMP. Some shaky shots, but he does manage to clean up 2 players now. And this is a good 3 down. He's in position to cause a bit of a spawn trap. Not all lives to the side of Revenge. All we need is 1 good wipe, as we saw. Now we have Kiosku top side of the scaffold, and will get cleaned up though by Charisma and Mantra, and we're running out of lives. Only 4 to the good, as Instinct now starts stacking the points. Exactly, they start stacking the points. Both so close to being ended, but Vepex in the spawn as well, and it looks like that might be all she wrote. There's only 3 players left now on the side of Revenge. Trapped in corners, Raptor gonna find one with the Odin, but there's so much work to do. They really have to try and defend one side. Looks like B will be cleared, but it's all onto Keo. He's going to have a world of hurt as Instinct come flying through, and they cap the point. It is a 3-0. It is an absolute respawn dominance from the African side. I did mention in the prior series, African card play is a little bit different. It's a little bit wacky to the side of EU, and you can see the side of Revenge had nothing to that adaptation. You saw some crazy hits that last round. I don't know if you noticed it, but Instinct 4-man through the stadium. Straight through, all into their spawn immediately. They said, we don't care about the points. We're going to go straight through stadium, into your spawn, and we're going to trap you for the next 35 seconds, while we have one guy just AFK on A and stop the clock. So you just see that variation from the African side was such a joy to see. It's such a nice difference in gameplay. And wow, Vepix, Charisma, Mantra, I mean, everyone on the side of it dropping huge numbers. Look at the assist column as well. Mantra with 8 assists, 5 assists, 4 assists, all team shooting all together. Great cohesion as well from the side of Instinct. They really have an identity, which is coincidentally what they lacked in S&D. So maybe if they just apply their psycho aggression into their search and destroy, you might see a pretty dominant side here moving forward.
Yeah, definitely the one thing that let them down in this series, but I can't say the slaying department in terms of these respawns is definitely not one that you have to kind of worry about for them to work on. They've got it sorted out. The spawn traps were phenomenal in round 2, even on round 3 in the end there when they got back with that Tempest in hand. Instinct making it the third African team to make it through into the quarter-final stage. It is going to be a really, really interesting competition from here on out for them. What they can do, how far are they going to progress? Sadly for Revenge, though, they're going to have to come back another time and try and see if they can work some Revenge back into the scene and into the UCE. They've just been unfortunate for a lot of their time. This is the chance to get through to that quarter-finals for the first time, and it wasn't to be. Tomorrow, though, we have another game that is going to be coming up, and it's going to be determining who is going to finish up in that Group D scenario, and that will be who will be facing one of these two sides anyway. Well, I said one of these two sides, the side of Instinct, who just showed their dominance in Respawn, and yeah, you don't need to win S&Ds, but remember, you will be needing to win an S&D going into these quarterfinals because it is a best of 5. There is Respawns in there, but you need to win them, all of them, or you need to be clinical on your search and destroys in the end. Avo, it's been an absolute pleasure. It was last minute. You can get back to your macaroni. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely lovely. I'm jealous because it's one of my favourite meals of all time. I could not live without macaroni in my life. So I hope you've enjoyed to get a cast in Co-op Mobile for the first time as well, and hopefully we'll get some more of them along the way. Is there any final words you want to say towards these two sides?
I mean, thank you to both teams for giving us a good back and forth series. Revenge from Grey S&D. Fortunately, respawns weren't quite there. Going forward, just go back to the run mill, have a look at the VOD, see what let you down, and it was really the pacing that let you down in terms of you just a little bit off the mark when it came to the aggression. But thank you to Atlas, thank you to you, Mark, for getting me involved, even though it was last minute. It was a pleasure to watch some COD Mobile for the first time and just witness what I can only describe as absolute turbo chaos on the map. We've got 75 SMGs, grenade launchers, nades, you name it. It was on the map at one point, and it was an absolute pleasure to watch. And I got to give it out to these guys as well, doing that level of pace on a mobile phone. Seriously impressive work, and I'm looking forward to watching some more as the tournament progresses. Thank you again.
Yeah, chat, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you very much for being here. You guys are helping us get these teams all shown to the wider audience and to even flaunt off even more COD Mobile. But thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you again tomorrow night, same time, same place. See you then.